You have to watch more closely what they do for you, how you feel when you're with them, how they tell you the truth for your own good, but not arguing over petty things. How every time you're in trouble and they are around, the trouble seems to be solved or lessened, okay? And of course, enemy is the opposite. But it's very difficult to discern the enemies. But there are some tricks I can tell you afterward. We talk about friends first, yeah? And friends sometimes also very protective of you. If someone else harm you, or slander you, or talking bad about you, or doing bad things to you, they're always on your side. Okay, enemy, of course, is the opposite. Yes, not only they don't sympathize your trouble, they even talk to you like you are the guilty one. Make you feel even worse, like it's all your fault. Even if it's your fault, there's always take two to tango. That's what people say. Friends, they are always there when you're in trouble. Yes. And their energy will always lend you some help, even though you don't know it. And they also don't know about it. But you just feel comforted when you're around them. Yeah? And you too seem to get on well in many subjects. Not all subjects, not all things. Of course, nothing is perfect in this world. Even in architecture, when they build a house, they deliberately make something wrong in some corner of your house. Not dangerously wrong, it's just something not perfect, so that the house will be safe and stay long. Yeah, I guess to make it less perfect, yeah? So that the house will stay longer safe and make people happy inside. That's what they believe. But of course, the house alone, the feng shui alone, is not 100% safety proof or happy proof for you. You must have also the worth to live in there, and to live a perfect and a good human life according to your merit and your goodness in your heart. Some people, even if they live in a bad house, but they are so pure, so good, so everything, even bad, become good. Actually, in our group, we should also experience that. Many years ago, when I first came to Taiwan, being blind, deaf, and dumb to the world, I also didn't know much about Taiwan. Used to be also kings and queens and all that. I used to do what I want, yeah? And my order will be law. So when they say, oh, it's raining a lot, it's wet for disciple, it's sunny too hot, rainy too wet, winter too cold, autumn too nothing. So we should build a little roof for everyone, okay? We build a roof. And later they say, but the wind and the rain is still flying in. And they say, Master, we have to make some wall. But we didn't really make wall. Maybe it was just like plastic sheets, you know, and cover, yeah, etc., etc. But then, I don't know, somebody went and reported or something, and then somebody else came and demolished it, yeah, the so-called meditation hall. So we had nowhere to go. We just plant more trees, hoping that, like the Buddha, we sit under the Bodhi tree, we might become Buddha. We plant a lot of trees. And because of many trees, it's like a forest. You know, in Sihu, right? It's like a mini forest. Yeah, trees are everywhere. If you're not careful, you bump into trees all the time. When you're in Samadhi and walking around, you be careful, okay? And we always have to trim the trees so that it doesn't overgrow. Otherwise, we will have no more land because Sihu is small already. Similarly, here we also have to trim, okay? Trim some people who are not really useful, yeah, for the majority and for the practice of everyone else. So we trim them, just like trees, yeah? Sometimes you have to trim some because the tree might grow too far into your house and obstruct your door or your windows or taking up your space. You trim some. So at that time, we planted many trees overnight even. Me and the monks and nuns at that time, the resident, long-term resident. And we plan also at night because sometimes we cannot wait until next day because it might be too hot and the tree will wither, and very difficult. So we have to plan a lot because we were in a rush of time also. If we don't plan it well on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then Sunday people cannot come because of the heap of dirt everywhere and trees are laying down everywhere or topside everywhere. Is also dangerous for the children, and the holes everywhere on the ground is not safe. So we hurry. So we plan sometimes all night through. And because many trees, we call it holy forest, big hall, 森林大殿, word by word translated like that. Actually, 大殿 means the place where you gather to meditate, to listen to master lecture. So they call 大殿. Even in the temple, they call it 大殿, mean where the Buddha statues are placed, and people come to worship or meditate if they do, or listen to the abbot speaking if he does. Yeah, so we call it 大殿 also. Actually, there's no 殿. 大殿 means a big hall. The hall is normally has the roof and the walls around it. Yeah, meditation hall or any hall like that. Just we had no hall at all. They still nostalgic from the old time when they still had the little meditation hall before. It made simple stuff like sheet of metal. At that time, I didn't have a lot of money because I did not do any designing or modeling yet. I didn't think about that. Yeah. And then we just used, very inexpensive material just to cover for the sun and the rain. But later it's demolished. We plant trees instead. Yeah. We were just a group of practitioners, didn't know much about the building regulation and stuff like that. We thought, it's necessary to build, so we built. And I thought the Taiwanese people know what to do. And the Taiwanese people think Master knows everything. Master knows what to do, so okay, we build. Later, we know better, we have to apply first for permission. Nevertheless, we already plant trees. Very difficult to dig them out. They're growing everywhere already. So we call them holy forest, meditation hall. And just now, they dig out one of the ancient prediction, and one of the seer, he mentioned about our holy forest. And I said, wow, that's pretty cool. So that means anything happens has a good reason. And I had to wait 30-some years to see it. We all did. We all had to wait for 30-some years to see the reason why somebody came and demolished our so-called meditation hall before. And then we have a forest, holy forest meditation hall, which fit perfectly in the big plan of the universe. Yeah, we shouldn't have built that hall in any case. But I remember now, I don't know if they still have these tapes that I was talking to the residents at that time, because they were so upset that somebody was going to demolish their house. They're not really attached. They thought it's a place, the holy place where people came and meditate, for the disciples. And why do people even come and do that? And they were thinking they're coming out and lay it on the street, to stop the bulldozer to come to demolish the hall. So I was laughing. I talked to them laughingly, saying, somebody really wants to use a human skin to protect the metal skin because the metal sheet, in Chinese, I say you are using 人皮啦，人皮为了保护铁皮呀。I remember saying that But the more I don't remember, I just comfort them. And then make them laugh so much that we all laugh, and then so we didn't care anymore whether or not it's going to demolish or not. Yeah. Yeah, so it was like that. These tapes probably are never published because it's just for the residents, and we just talk about this incident only, nothing much. Well, maybe it could be some lessons in it, yeah, but we didn't think. I didn't let them publish. I didn't think it's something to publish. Maybe one day they will dig it out. Yeah, because these SMTV people, Supreme Master Television and staff, they are so good. They dig out everything. They dig out many of the photos that I never thought I had. They dig out some of the talk that I never thought I even have spoken. And they dig out so many ancient predictions that I never heard of. Even many other lifetimes. Yeah, they keep digging. Wow, my God. And I also the first time seeing this. I told you the only predictions I know a little bit, not the whole thing, because it's very famous in France. I was in France, and I was studying French. So I knew some because people tell me. But I wasn't, anything wiser because I wasn't practicing anything. Yeah, so I didn't know anything anyway. So they read it and I hear it, and then they go from here to the other ear. I said, that's the only person I knew about prediction in my whole life. And then now they're digging out so many. Oh, from Europe to America, and then now South America, and then to Vietnam and Korea and whatnot. I don't know. I'm also like you, very excited, waiting to see what else I can dig out from the treasure of the world. So now when I see this prediction, I thought, wow, so it fit perfectly. Maybe that's what it's meant to be. Lucky I didn't let the resident come out and lay on the street to do the protest. Because the bulldozer, maybe he doesn't know anything about ahimsa, no? Yeah, it could cause some problem, no? Humans might know, but the bulldozer is just a machine. You know nothing about the 5 precepts, yeah? And you don't provoke that big, strong, powerful, mindless guy. Besides, whatever happened, that's my philosophy. Whatever happens, happens. You just accept it. And maybe something good come out of it at the end. Maybe you have to wait forever. But who cares? Who cares? That's the way it has to be, then it has to be. So we learn a lot also from Lord Mahavira here, that he accepted everything. Because maybe his soul knew that this is good for humanity, for all beings. Or his soul also remember, maybe in the past lives, when he was sojourning on this planet, maybe he also did something not appropriate. And now it's his turn to reap this consequence. Even the Sakyamuni Buddha say that he was kicking the head of a dead fish. And then he had headache for some times, even after he became Buddha already. We are born in this human body, and we are not allowed to know many things. Therefore, a lot of times we do wrong, and without realizing it, especially without anyone teaching us in advance, without a wise teacher to tell us what's right from wrong. And even then, if somebody taught us, sometimes we still can do wrong because the mind and the Maya pushing it, and our karmic background from lives coming back, also leading us astray, making us do things wrong. Or the situation force us to do something that we don't like to do, but we just have to. Therefore, all beings are really, really pitiful, very, very pitiful indeed. But in the Kristigaba Sutra, Ti Chang Wang Ching, remember, all the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas warning us that the bodhisattvas have always been there to help us all the time, even lifting us away from hell if we were repentant and sincere, and given another chance to redeem our mistakes. Some still do it again. Because habits die hard. Even habit from former lives still coming back, haunting our subconsciousness. So try to resist mightily whatever we think is not good. Because the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas warn us that if after we have been redeemed and given another chance, and if we do bad again, if it's too grievously bad, then we be in hell forever. No one can help us anymore. Remember that? Well, they say no one, meaning mostly, mostly. Maybe there's one or two mighty saints could help us. Yeah, but that took long eons, kalpas, until this person or this being came down to this planet and helped us in that situation. I mean, help once and for all, for good. But then we still had to suffer a long time already, like forever. In the old saying, they say, one day in prison is like 3 years outside in freedom. Okay, in hell, imagine all the suffering and the punishment and the pain and sorrow, no end. No end. Imagine how long will that seem, even though it's already like kalpas or eons past already. Capish?